Most business letters follow an established format and style and have done so for many years. Often how you present yourself and your business when writing says a great deal about you and your company. But how have emails and social media altered the way we write, and have the components of good writing changed? Well, Khaled AlMaskari is a former Best UAE Book Award winner, and he's written a practical guide to business writing. He's with us this evening on Emirates News. Khaled, thanks a lot for joining us.
Thank you for having me.
So, why did you decide to write this book, which is the practical guide to business writing?
Okay. Based on my experience in the field of business communication, there is a need in the Gulf region to help business people and fresh graduate on job business market, and also helping them to communicate effectively in their workplace. Challenging business environment have placed a great emphasis on writing communication, especially in the written communication. And this has really motivated me and influenced me to put out a practical guide to business writing.
Now, Khaled, with so many nationalities doing business here in the UAE, many of our colleagues come from different places. How do you unify the writing? What's the best way to do that?
Yeah, especially in this region, we have so many nationalities working in one organization, and I believe everybody has his own style of delivering messages. Therefore, I tend to focus heavily in this book on writing clear, concise messages with a sense of style. This is exactly what really make this book unique.
So what are the most common writing mistakes, and how can they make or break a company, quite literally?
Okay, I'd rather call it errors, because since this English is not our first language, so many times I came across so many emails which are not written too well, simply because they are writing so many sentences, long one, and sometimes it gives us a second read. Most of us, especially senior manager, are very busy nowadays, and they should understand that the writing business style has changed, and they need to convey it in a way it makes easy to read and convey the message instantly. Also, I noticed that the tone of our some of their business colleagues sound aggressive or sound negative in general, and this have an adverse impact on their impression on their business style. Also, aside from this, there are so many grammatical errors, like punctuation, spelling, and this also will have a negative impression about the credibility of those individuals who write these emails.
Right, but Khaled, let's also talk about, in the book you give examples, don't you?
Yeah.
And basically, since the start of social networking and emails particularly, you'll get emails addressed quite formally, but they'll say, hi, how are you? Or they'll include a smiley face in the email or whatever. If you're writing a formal letter, that isn't necessarily the thing to do, is it?
Yeah, true. In business corresponding, it has to be formal. And social networking, according to my understanding, it tends to be informal. But if you want to use those social networking in a business context, then you need to apply the same concept and principle that we applied in business correspondence. I mentioned this in my book. And there's example, I put it out here. This is a real life example because of the social networking and people, they're using text messages.
That's the good thing about the book, is that you do give direct examples, which must be helpful for people, I'd imagine.
You're so right.
But that's very interesting. So is the book going to go digital, Khaled?
This book is available now in Amazon in paper format, and also available in ebook format. And I think Wiley working very hard to have a different type of, like, an e-learning in the near future. Are
you always having to update it? I mean, are you finding that the language is sort of changing all the time?
Actually, yes, we need to update as long as there is a need in the business writing skills, and definitely we need to update and get something new out of this book.
Fantastic. Well, thank you very much, Khaled AlMaskari, for coming in. The book there is called A Practical Guide to Business Writing.
Thank you.